Hi, I'm Deborah McLaren, and I'm here today to share with you a few safety tips for emergency preparedness. First of all, it's very important that you maintain an updated A to Z list that you have a hard copy of that you can take out with you in the case of an evacuation. It's also important that everyone knows where the emergency backpack is kept in the classrooms and in other buildings around your campus. This backpack is very important. It contains the Site Emergency Procedures Plan, which has inside most of the information that you will need in the event of different types of emergencies. It's important that this backpack be kept in the same place in the classroom so everyone knows where to find it. At Wolf Canyon, we keep the red emergency backpack under the sink in every classroom. Let's take a look at what's in the emergency backpack. A copy of the emergency map, an aerial view of the map. On this map, you will find the location of first aid, the location of the command post, emergency supply closet, the release gate, the request gate, and where the main gas is shut off. Inside this folder, we also keep an updated copy of the map with the location of all of our teachers and other personnel on our campus. In the backpack, we also have a supply of pens with some highlighters, some Post-its in case we need to give information to several people at once. And because I am the site commander, I make sure that I have signs for each of the locations that are visible from a distance. These signs can also be hung around your neck if necessary. Each of the different teams have a sign as well, and we found that it was very helpful to color coordinate the different responsibilities for each team. It's very important for me to have an updated class list roster so that we can check those names off to make sure everyone is accounted for in the case of an emergency. The backpack includes classroom emergency supply information so everyone knows what should be in the red backpack and it can be replaced. I also keep track of the forms that I might be required to fill out, so I have a copy of these forms which is found in the appendices of my emergency preparedness plan. I have a student and staff accountability report that I keep in the backpack and some additional items. We found, because of fires in California, it's very important to have masks, flashlights. In the front of the emergency backpack, we keep blue tape so we can tape up signs or anything else we may need tape for. We found it was necessary to have scissors, a first aid kit, a mouth cover if I have to perform CPR, my extra batteries, soft wipes, some latex gloves, extra tissue, and finally, I keep inside the signs that we use that we had laminated that we can put in the event of a lockdown, that we only need a green marker to let emergency personnel know who is safe. If there is no marker, they know there's either danger in the classroom or they know that someone needs assistance. When we put the marker in, we make sure that we put the marker high and slide through the door, and we leave hanging out. And then emergency personnel can scan down our building quickly to see who needs assistance and who does not.
When is the last time you had a disaster drill? Let's watch as Wolf Canyon Elementary School implements their disaster plan. Students quickly and quietly exit their classrooms in a single file line. They are headed to their designated evacuation site under the direction of teachers and staff. The safety attendant sets up the command post and posts the sign to identify the designated area. Meanwhile, teachers are taking attendance and reporting any missing or injured students to the first aid and medical chief.
I need to confirm that everybody's out here with their class. I need to check the list of the kids that are missing and check the absence list.
The principal deploys all team members, ensuring they have their assignments. There is already a designee in place should the principal not be available. Everyone has a job. All staff are responsible for the safety and well-being of students, including those in the evacuation site.
If we needed to, we can dispatch someone to tape this. And then we have maps if we needed to give maps for emergency personnel.
Quick inventory of supplies in the disaster container is taken in preparation for first aid and search and rescue teams. Bins have already been prepared with essential supplies for each station. The designated staff member takes a wrench to go and shut off the gas supply. Teachers are called for search and rescue. They're identified by orange vests and hard hats. They're broken into teams of 2 to check the school as fast as possible. Each team has a walkie-talkie, master key, and a backpack of first aid supplies. One designee oversees the search and rescue team. Before heading out, the teams coordinate and organize themselves.
We have to go to the building, and then we're gonna mark when we check the building that there's no one injured or hurt.
After a room has been cleared, search and rescue places an X outside the door. Orange vests distinguish search and rescue team members, making them easy for emergency responders to identify.
XX. All clear, search and rescue. Things in the ladder.
An injured staff member has been found. Teams identify the situation as heat stroke and begin to treat her. She will be carried away on a stretcher to the first aid triage area for further treatment.
Yep, healthy pulse right there.
She's gonna make it. Mr. Gross, what's your status?
Just delivered victim for 500 billing to first aid heading back.
Got it. Let me know what I can do.
Maybe some type of splint.
First aid teams have been given supplies and report to the designated triage area. Triage areas and more are identified right away, and the team coordinates efforts. Injured students and staff are treated. The release gate is identified so that parents know where to be reunited with their children. Attendance is constantly monitored throughout this process, and parents must provide specific information in order to have their child released. There's a difference between planning and practice. Why do we do disaster drills when an emergency plan is already in place?
Practice makes progress, so we'll know every time we do this what we need to do to make it better for the next time.
It's proven that when we attend drills, we show them what needs to be done correctly, and then usually when a disaster does happen or there's an emergency, muscle memory kind of kicks in.
Well, we have to do it over and over and over to ensure that it is effective when the real thing happens. So in most drills, in many drills, actually things won't go right. A door will be left unlocked.
A few final tips to remember. Make sure you take your cell phone with you, but also make sure you have a cell phone charger and perhaps a backup battery in the event that electricity is not available. Make sure that you keep the gas wrench in a location that everyone knows where it's kept. Make sure that you have an emergency bag for yourself that I found should include sunglasses, tennis shoes, sunscreen, and any medication that you may need. It's also helpful to make sure that you tab your binders, and I have tabbed my binders with resources, team roster, so I know who's in charge of what and what they should do, and the forms that I know I might need to complete in a disaster under Appendix A. It's important to have a paper copy of the sign-in for your visitors and volunteers so that you can also track them in the event of an emergency. Provide a tour for your staff each year so they know where the emergency supplies are kept and also where the gas shutoff wrench is kept. And it's very important for you to make sure that you stay calm and that you do the best you can to delegate the different responsibilities to the folks on your campus.
These helpful tips will come in handy when creating or updating your emergency plan. And remember, practice makes progress.